In Saddleworth, wedding cake specialist Suzanne Thorp has received a commission that's a little more traditional.
Laura and Daniel have asked me to make their wedding cake. It's very sleek and very elegant, and it's 6 tiers high, so it's going to be a whopper. The elements that are on it are these lovely satin ribbons of sugar paste, and so it looks like ruched fabric tied and wrapped around the cake and then fastened on certain tiers with these big sugar bows. Hopefully it'll look really elegant.
Towering 3 feet high, Suzanne's 6-tiered satin ribbon wedding cake will feature 2 dummy bottom tiers, with the final 4 tiers made from chocolate, lemon and vanilla cakes. Covered in 8 kilos of flawlessly smooth ivory sugar paste, her biggest challenge will be creating the petal and modelling paste ruched ribbons and bows that will make this cake stand out.
There's not any room for error at all, so it's got to be executed perfectly.
Suzanne starts on her edible 3rd tier, layering chocolate sponge with chocolate buttercream.
It's just a mega chocolate feast. Smells divine. This cake is a flawless cake. There's not really much detail on there. There's just these ribbons that are wrapping around it and the bows. So it's really important that we get the foundation of the cake spot on. So we're going to have to spend even longer really making sure that ganache layer is perfect.
And that's because it needs to meet bride-to-be Laura's exacting standards. Suzanne's finished ganaching the 6 tiers of her satin ribbon wedding cake for Laura and Daniel's big day, and now faces the crucial job of flawlessly covering them in smooth icing.
So we've covered the sugar paste in the same colour as Laura's dress, and we're going to give them all a coat, let that set before we put the fabric effect ribbons around them. There can't really be any lumps and bumps because there's no piping on here to cover anything up.
With the tiers covered, it's on to Suzanne's biggest challenge, creating the edible fabric effect ribbons that will wrap around each layer, starting with the base tier.
I'm going to use some petal paste and then we're going to mix it with some modelling paste, so hopefully we can get it really thin and quite stretchy so that it doesn't break.
Suzanne uses a pasta machine to get the paste as thin as possible.
We're using these plastic dowels just to act as formers so we can start to get some pleats in it. We've got to be really quick because once it starts to dry, then the chances are it'll start to crack.
So, working against the clock, Suzanne enlists the help of colleague Kim to apply the first ribbon around the base tier.
And you just want that lovely continuous wrap of pleated paste. Just praying it just keeps in one piece and doesn't break.
After an hour, the base tier's complete, and Suzanne can begin shaping the first petal and modelling paste bow that will adorn the 2nd tier.
We start off with a rectangular-ish piece of paste, and then I gather it up at one end, and then the same at the other. So you kind of ruche in the piece of paste, and then we bring 2 ends together like that. So it looks like a nice billowy bow. Brilliant start, but we've got a lot to do yet.
5 hours later, the ribbons are complete, and Suzanne can give them a realistic satin finish using luster dust mixed with alcohol.
You've just got to be careful that you don't get any of this luster paint on the cake itself and only on these bits of pleated icing. And it's not that easy to see because it's all ivory.
And with 5 more tiers still to paint and the bows to assemble, Suzanne's in for a late night. 54 miles north in Saddleworth, it's the day of Laura and Daniel's wedding, and Suzanne's nearly completed their satin ribbon wedding cake.
So the final bit now is to get the bow loops on. And we're just going to give it a few minutes to feel that it's sort of stuck to the side. That's it, finished.
It's taken Suzanne 3 days to create this elegant 3-foot-tall 6-tiered wedding centrepiece, built from chocolate, lemon and vanilla cakes, carefully covered in 8 kilos of flawlessly smooth ivory sugar paste. Designed to complement the bridal wear, it's been skillfully decorated with fully edible ruched ribbons and perfectly knotted satin bows.